Joining us today for introducing the Acrobat 10 Suite session is a familiar face on AUC, Lori DeFurio. Lori is a Group Product Marketing Manager at Adobe and a tireless sponsor of our site. Lori, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Lori, and welcome everybody. Whether I saw we had folks from all over the U.S. and Europe too, so I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with me today. And I will do the best I can to represent the Acrobat 10 Suite for you. What I'm going to do is basically share my screen the entire time and basically walk you through the components of the suite and show you a little bit about how I use it in my day-to-day life at Adobe as somebody that is a knowledge worker, which you know is again a kind of a typical market for the Acrobat product and how it works. It's hard to believe it's the middle of April already, but I hope that we will finally see some nice weather here. I live in upstate New York, if you're not aware of that, and we had crazy thunderstorms this morning, and it's been raining for days. Okay, so what's actually inside the Acrobat 10 Suite? Now, before I start to talk about it, I did put a URL here on the page. That's the URL if you want to download the suite. The suite is, there's a 30-day trial of it. It's about 2 gigabytes when you download it, so just wanted to give you a heads up so you weren't a little shocked at the length of time it might take. And it's Windows only because some of the components are Windows only tools that are in the suite. So I just wanted to share that with you. So of course, in the suite is Acrobat 10 Pro. Additionally is Photoshop CS5. So that's kind of exciting. That's in the suite as well. And those really, to me, are the flagship and the anchor to the suite. But additionally, we have Captivate 5. We have Adobe Presenter 7. Live Cycle Designer ES2, which of course is in the Acrobat 10 Pro box. You're going to get both of those whether you go either way. And then Adobe Media Encoder. And the reason I don't have a box shot, if you will, for Adobe Media Encoder is you can't buy it standalone. It comes in the Creative Suites and it comes in the Adobe Acrobat 10 Suite. So what I'd like to do today, and I think this will be the best use of our time, is I'm going to talk through the components, talk about it for a moment, and then show you how I use it and talk about how it makes sense to someone that really is an Acrobat user, and we'll go from there. So the first piece I want to talk through is Photoshop. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have used Photoshop in the past or you know, have played around with editing photos, but one of the things that happens a lot in my day is I'm constantly, I'll get a great photograph and it just needs to be color corrected or it needs to be cropped. And, you know, I might even be just, you know I love to use InDesign and I also use FrameMaker, but a lot of times I'm in a Word file. That's just the nature of the job that I do, and it's what we do at the company. A lot of people will do stuff in Word. And I just need to put a picture in, and I need to fix the picture or something. And Photoshop is a great, you know, it's right there. I can do it, and it'll let me fix my pictures. The other thing, and I will demonstrate this to you, is something called Content Aware Fill. This is like an outrageously cool new thing they added in CS5 that lets you fix pictures that have stuff in them. So let me go ahead and jump out of, I'm actually going to stay in Acrobat, but I'm going to jump out of full screen mode. And I'm going to go ahead and go into a PDF file. Now, as you know, this is just a regular old everyday PDF file with some graphics and things in it. But what you've noticed here on page 11 is that someone marked it up and said, wait a minute, I went over to the convention center today and the poles are gone. We've got to get a new picture because this is not what the building looks like anymore. Well, first and foremost, you may or may not be aware that in Acrobat, if you click on Tools, you can actually go to the Content pane and you can click on Edit Object. And directly from within Acrobat, you can select a photograph, right-click, and say Edit that image. And what's going to happen is it's going to go ahead and see what tool on your computer you've got associated with photographs. In my case, it's Photoshop. And it will launch that application and open that graphic from within Acrobat directly in there. So here it is. You can see it now. I still have, and I just want to jump back. There's Acrobat. There's the picture, but it opened just that photograph inside of Photoshop so I could work on it. Now, again, I told you I'm not really a graphic designer by any means, but I mean, I could do something simple here, like I could come in here and say, I want to color correct this, or I want to make it into a grayscale picture. I just want it to be a black and white picture. I could do something as simple as that. I could say, save it out, yes, save it, and what it does is it actually just drops it right back into Acrobat, and now it's just a black and white picture in Acrobat. So again, if you want to do some simple things like color correct or crop or edit, you can do that super simple. But what I really want to do, and I'm just going to say revert here because I want to go back to the color picture. In this case, as I mentioned, I'll go back to my tools and back to edit object. I need to get rid of those flagpoles somehow, and I got to either get a new photograph or get rid of these. Well, as I mentioned, in CS5, they introduced this new tool called the Spot Healing Tool Brush, also known as Content Aware Fill. And I'll select that tool, and then all I've got to do is kind of scribble over the thing I want to get rid of. And look at this. You're not going to believe it. Look at it. It just gets rid of it automatically. So I want to get rid of that whole pole. I'll just kind of drag my mouse all the way down, let go. The whole flagpole's gone. All right, we'll get rid of this flag. And again, this is really cool and easy. And again, I'm not a graphic designer, but I needed to